One thing I also want to talk about was some kind of, I don't know, not desirable situations with coming out as genderqueer. I've actually kind of identified as genderqueer since my senior year of high school. I am 21 now, so it's been about 3 years since then. Um, and I had already come out as lesbian about 2 years before that, when I was like 15, 16, maybe. I was after 16 and a half, I think. And it was like the end of my junior year, I remember that. Or I mean, the end of my sophomore year. End of my sophomore year, I remember that. And so I've been out as a lesbian for like about a year and a half, and I didn't quite feel comfortable identifying that way. I don't know why. It just never felt totally right when I would say it. I'd say I'm a lesbian, and immediately I'd be like, am I? I'm attracted to girls, I'm a that. But saying lesbian always felt weird to me. So I started researching alternatives, I guess, and I came across genderqueer when I was in high school, and immediately I was like, this sounds like me, this looks like what I want to look like, at that point in time I was still pretty girly. A lot of people wouldn't assume that I was queer or anything. I looked like, I did wear boy clothes, but I guess I just looked like a tomboy, or I don't know, we had a lot of girls that wore boy clothes at my school that weren't gay. They were very straight, or gender varied. They were female identified. So it just wasn't that uncommon, I guess, to see girls wearing boy clothes. And also probably my style wasn't probably too masculine either. You know, it was like somewhere in between. Anyways, but I remember when I finally realized that this is the term I like, this is what I think fits me the best out of everything I've looked at so far. I want people to understand that about me, and so I told a few of my really good friends. This was a big moment for me, you know. It's like coming out as anybody. It was a big moment for you to actually say, hey guys, I've realized that this is what I am, and to include people in your realization. And so I told a few of my really good friends. At that point in time, I would call them my best friends, and they're just like, what? What's that? So you want to be trans? Like, no, I don't want to be trans. I don't want to be a man. But I'm not a girl either. That's why it's genderqueer. I'm not either. Or I'm both at the same time. But I wasn't that articulate at saying it at that point in time. I'm even not that articulate at saying it, and it's been 3 years since I've realized. And I'm just now starting to actually really tell people, like to everybody. It's not like, oh hey, by the way, I'm genderqueer. That's not the first thing I say, but you know, if people ask me now, I'm not saying I identify as lesbian, I'm saying I identify as genderqueer, which is a big thing for me. But anyways, so these first few people that I told, it was a very big deal to me, and they didn't understand it at all, and I wasn't receiving positive feedback from them, and they were supposed to be my best friends. So I thought, my best friends don't even understand this. I mean, they say, you know, Catherine, okay, whatever. They didn't understand it, but they were like, it's your deal, do what you want, get it girl. That was their phrase all the time, get it girl. So they said that to everybody, not just because I was a girl. So I was like, okay, so I guess this genderqueer thing, people don't understand. So what's the point? If what they're going to understand is that I'm a girl who likes girls, I might as well just keep saying I'm a lesbian. And so that's what I stuck with for a long time, like 3 or 4 years. And only lately I'm starting to tell people again, because I want them to understand that that is where I find myself on the line. And I'm kind of getting the same reactions, you know, like, I don't understand what that is. So does that mean you're trans? Oh, so you want to be a guy? No, well then I don't get it. Like, if you don't, like, I don't know, it just seems like if you don't want to completely transition, they don't understand. And I guess maybe even if you do want to transition, they probably still wouldn't understand, but they would portray that they understood more than if you just in the middle, you know. And I wish I could find that book that I was talking about earlier. It's a book my brother gave me after I came out to him. Actually, right before I came out to him, he gave it to me, but we were talking about gender and stuff. And it's by Jacques Dierd, or it's not by him, it's a conversation with him in it, him and one of his students, and it's called For What Tomorrow. So I think probably if you just look up For What Tomorrow, Jacques Dierd, Jaueas, Dierba. Not positive about that spelling, but if you just look up For What Tomorrow, Jacques Dierd, I'm sure Google will autocorrect the spelling. You'll be able to find it. And he gave me that book because it's another book that he wanted me to read, which is called Gender Trouble, which is the book he really wanted me to read. But he wanted me to have background knowledge of where this author of Gender Trouble is coming from, which is from this book For What Tomorrow by Jacques Dierd, or with Jacques Dierd. So I'm working my way through that. I forgot why I was telling you. Oh, there was a line in that book that meant something along the lines of we need to give up living in dualities, in extremes. It's not one way or the other. It's not all or nothing. There's lots of compromises and in-betweens, and we need to recognize that, and we need to start recognizing that. The world's not going to be as good of a place as it could until people realize that things aren't just in a binary spectrum. There you go. Words you will hear over and over until you are sick of them. If you are looking up anything about trans or gender identity and expression, is binary, cisgendered, homonormativity, or not homonormativity, although I guess that is probably a thing too. But the one you hear, I've actually never heard homonormativity. I don't know what I was thinking when I said that. You hear heteronormativity all the time. All the time! I didn't even know what half these words were when I first started reading this. I was like, what the hell are they saying? They sound like they're all PhDs. But it's just the terminology that people have come to accept for this, I guess. Another thing too is I don't like gender neutral pronouns, like the, and you can spell like he wrong. There's even shem in there, S-H-E-M. What the hell? One time I used to date a trans man, and he was open about it. He wasn't stealth. He would tell people all the time, I'm trans. And when we first started dating, we met at a party, and we were introduced as two girls, two lesbians. She told me her girl name, and I told her Catherine, which I haven't really stopped going by until recently, or I'm still going by it, but I'm trying to get people to change. And so then when she told me a few days later that she was trans and she wanted to go by Max and he and stuff like that, and some of the people at work that knew about us, because he used to come into work all the time to meet me for lunch and stuff like that, and so people knew him, knew who he was to me, and stuff like that. And then when they would say she all the time, after he told me about that, I said, no, it's my boyfriend, his name is Max, call him he, and they're like, I don't get it. And one person was like, so does that mean I can say it? I was mortified when she said that. This is supposedly one of my really good friends. I think it's just out of ignorance, not really trying to hurt anybody. But I was like, no, you can't say that. You can say he, and if you slip and say she, it's not that big of a deal to him, but you should say he. And she's like, oh, okay. And she, like, you could tell she could tell that I was bothered by it. And she never said anything like that again, I guess. So, but yeah, so I've been having somewhat mixed reactions. People don't understand genderqueer.